Hello, my friends. I'll be starting in just a second. Making sure everything's right. Looks good. Send that out. Close. All right, I think we're good to go. 3, 2, 1. GoNintendo Podcast, Webisode 692, the Clauncher Podcast. Clauncher is a cyan crustacean Pokemon with 2 yellow antennae atop its head. It has 2 claws. One claw forms a single sharp point, while the other is significantly larger with 2 parts, forming a classic pincer. The lower part of the pincer is... Oh, come on, don't do that to me. God, what happened? Oh, God, I lost it. It did one of those, like, I got a notification and it bumped the page down and I lost everything. Clauncher, whatever. Clauncher has a light gray underside, 3-pointed mandibles, round yellow eyes with a small black pupil, and 2 small trapezoid tail parts protruding from its lower abdomen. A horizontal line encompasses the front of its carapace in line with its eyelids, up until a second vertical line that encompasses its carapace completely. It has light gray segments on the parts of its legs and claws closest to its body. Clauncher uses its large claw to shoot compressed water to jet around. That sounds awesome. And can be shot like a pistol at flying prey. This just became my favorite Pokemon. Up close, the compressed water can shatter rocks. Occasionally, its claws fall off, where it then keeps a low profile until they grow back. Good idea. Because of its larger claw, Clauncher has a terrible sense of balance, and they are unable to swim straight. Its claw meat is also consumed by humans. That's a weird thing to throw in at the end there. Clauncher, 692, 50% male, 50% female. It is 1 foot tall, and it is 18 pounds. There you go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for... Pokemon are scary, Aurelio, you're right. Thanks for joining me on this random... Well, not random. I mean, we do a podcast every week, but randomly timed podcast because, as I said in my post, the weekend is very busy for us. There's a family party that we have to go to, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So I am doing the podcast today, and I wish I could have given you more advance, but I didn't know when I was going to be able to record the podcast. I can't do a set time during the week because there's a lot more work. So here we are. So thank you for those of you who are joining me live at the seriously last-minute announcement. I greatly appreciate it. Hello, Do, and Colma, and Cumulative, and It's a Trap, and Aurelio, and Saltine Supreme, and Rock Yeah, and Jessfria 2000. Hello, Jessfria is in Costa Rica. Hello from New Jersey. Pika Moonsalt, the Namekian Clown, Small Dream, and whoever else I didn't see, thank you for joining us. No, you're right, Aurelio. Family party, what about our needs? It's a Sweet 16 party, so kind of important. Plus, we actually like the family members. So, you know, one of those 3 or 4 that we like, they actually had changed the family party so that Mom Brain and I could attend because Mom Brain was in Florida last week visiting her parents, and they didn't want to have the party without Mom Brain around. So they shifted it to this week. And here we are. Hello, FNAF and Roth. FNAF is coming to Switch. I think at least one of the installments is coming to Switch very soon. All the original installments are coming to Switch. So what is that, 6? I have played none of them. Rock, yeah, yes, it's true. I will be at a Sweet 16. It's really just her 16th birthday. It's not going to be like a Sweet 16 or, you know, nothing like you see on MTV where like kids are fighting with their parents because they didn't get the color car that they want or anything like that. Just a family party, and the cousin happens to be turning 16. So yeah, I love family parties because we actually get along with our family and have a lot of fun. So I'm very much looking forward to it. But you guys are my other family. I can't just not do a podcast. We've done 691 of these in a row without missing a single week. You think I'm going to stop that now? No. Hello, Axel. Thanks for joining me. I'm happy to see you live. Yeah, when I do a random podcast, I get to see some people that we don't normally get to see because Saturdays at 3:15 when we usually do it, sometimes people are working or sleeping, depending on where they are. They're, enjoying their weekend another way. So thanks to those of you joining in who don't usually get to join us live. I appreciate it. I have no sponsorship this week, which is good because people will probably be upset to be like, where's the whole crew? It's just you. But we do have something fun to talk about. The Gravilogic gang, who we've talked about on the podcast before, has launched their Kickstarter for their Switchblades, which we've talked about a couple times on the show. Their Switchblades were originally Joy-Con Switch rail covers. So you could, when your Switch is in the dock and you're using the Joy-Cons individually, or you're charging them, and you just have the Joy-Con rails open on your Switch, you might want something, A, to cover them, to keep them safe, or B, to cover them just to make it look better. Either one. Both are good ideas, I guess. And the Gravilogic guys were working on Switchblades that you slide in there, and they just, like I said, different options for style, like wood grain and things like that, but also to keep things safe in there and covered. So that was the original plan. Hello, Kramis. Thanks for joining. That was the original plan. And then they got feedback saying that people wanted a kickstand feature in there. And they were like, oh, okay, so they could do that. And they revised the idea and they showed off, hey, look, now the Switchblades have little kickstands on them. So you have the regular kickstand on the Switch, which a lot of people don't like. And then you have two more because you have one for each Joy-Con rail. And they were adjustable. So that was the plan. It was actually a really well thought out plan because this was all discussed and shared openly with the public before the Kickstarter went live. And, when people see that a company is receptive to ideas even before a Kickstarter goes live, rather than being like, oh, crap, we're not making money. Yeah, we'll add in those features. Just fund us now. So these guys, I think, did it the right way. They put their Kickstarter live, and it proved that they did things the right way because they hit their funding goal in less than a day. They hit their funding goal. Now, obviously, there's other things they can do with more funding. By the way, I'm in the quote-unquote dining room today because there's supposed to be a package coming, and I have to sign for it, and I'm afraid I'm going to miss it because we don't have a doorbell, so that's why I'm sitting here waiting for somebody to knock at this door. But you might hear other noises from other parts of the house, which I'm sure you just heard, so I apologize for that. But anyway, they launched a Kickstarter, went live, successfully funded within less than a day. But there are more goals to hit and stuff like that. But the Gravilogic guys were nice enough to send me a prototype of the Switchblades. That's what they're called, Switchblades. So the prototype, there we go, that's better. Prototype is this nice wood grain design. There's the way that they slide onto the Switch. And here's the little, I had them right. Here's the little nubbers at the top. Boop, boop, and boop, boop, right there. And you push those out to slide them off of your Switch. Now, let me see what they say here. Blah, 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 blah. Again, this is not a paid sponsorship. I just really like these things. And these guys sent a prototype, so I thought I'd talk about it. We are finalizing details for the kickstand feature, so this is just our prototype currently being made by hand. The basic visual appearance and functionality will be the same. So, just so you know, I'm always paranoid I'm going to put these on the wrong way, but you can't really do that. So you just put it on, push it in, there you go. That's it. I'll do the other one too. There you go, clicked in, and that's it. Now you got a nice covered set of Joy-Con rails. And obviously you'll have to take these off if you want to put your Joy-Con back on to charge them. But you can leave these on forever, and then you can just pull the button. This is very hard to do while doing it on camera. I'm gonna make this look terrible. I practiced this a million times before I went live, and I was like, I know when I actually do it, it's not going to work. Why can't I get this? Well, I'm not going to fuss with it. I know I can get them off, but like I said, it's the prototype, so obviously it's going to be a little bit different when I come out. But the Kickstarter is still live right now, so you can go on and kick in some cash. if you want a set of these. And as I said, there are more stretch goals to be hit. So you can go in and you can do that. But congratulations to them. Thank you very much for sending the prototypes. I really do think it's a cool idea. I'm an idiot. I didn't even show like the kickstand part. I'm just like falling apart. I'm sorry. I'm so like, it's been a very busy week. There you go. There's the kickstand part. And it's adjustable. Each leg is adjustable individually. So you can have, I mean, you can pretty much like lay it pretty damn flat out if that's what you want, or you can have it very close up, something like that. And I really like the angle when you have it like that because it's obviously lower than, well, let me see how much lower it is. I'm going to flip the camera down for you guys to see. The table's going to be a mess. I apologize. So you have, this is just the regular Switch kickstand. Like that. That's as good as it gets. Now, if you do the kickstands that are in here, I'm going to put them to full extension. Boop, boop. Look at that. Look at that. That's a big difference. That's like a major difference. I think that's a much more comfortable viewing angle. Let's see how far I can push it there. I feel like I could go a little more. I'm talking about a little dangerous, but you could prop it up like that. And they're like, I don't know, like pretty close to being closed now. So yeah, you can really adjust like what kind of angle you want when you're using the kickstand. So this, we talked about it on a podcast because I thought weeks ago because I thought it was a cool idea, and that was before they even had the kickstands in there. Now that they do, I think it's an even better idea. So yeah, go check out that Kickstarter. Again, they're called Switchblades, and the company is called Gravilogic. So again, congratulations to them. Thank you for the prototype. I'm going to do a more planned out video and take some pictures and stuff like that for you guys later on. But I thought I just got these today, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to show them off on the podcast. All right. Hello, the Aloe Wolf and Mine Without a Cause and Autumnal Blake. I don't know how you're late, Autumnal Blake, and Adam and Mother Brain and Colma and Sarah and Feeling Fine and whoever else I didn't see in there. Thank you for joining us, even if you are late. Monster Hunter Switchblade, yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to talk about before we got into regular news. Now that Nikki Hill's not here, I can talk about whatever I want. Was that? Yeah, that was last week. Nikki Hill, I love him. He's a hell of a guy, but sometimes his thought process leads to interesting discussions on the podcast. I know a few of you last week were like, oh my God, is he just trying to say the opposite of everything RMC is saying? I saw your comments, which is why I put the disclaimer on last week's episode, because I know he was a little bit more Nikki Hill than usual last week. So I just wanted people to be prepared for it. And I'm not knocking him or bad-mouthing him in any way. I love Nikki Hill. Just, you know, he's got a very unique personality. It was really coming out last week. And there were things last week I want to talk about, but he was being Nikki Hill, so I pushed on, and now I can't remember what any of them were. That's a shame. Oh, I'll talk about something that I... Yes, we do. It's a trap. It's a trap says, yeah, you guys have some interesting interjections. Yes, that's very true. Do I love him sexually? I have not loved him sexually, but I mean, I've known him since second grade. I feel like we have a special kind of bond. Let's just say if the opportunity presented itself, I can't say I turned it down. He's a handsome man. He doesn't listen when you speak. It's hilarious. Yes, I know Mine Without a Cause. I feel the same way. I should get Kirby's reactions to to Nikki Hill on camera better, because those two have quite the relationship, and I'll leave it at that. There you go. There, I got one of them off. You just have to push the button and pull up. It's just very hard to do and talk at the same time. There's the guy. I told you. I apologize. I will be right back. Hey, how you doing?
All right, how you doing? Your last name's Cassidy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. I told you. I knew as soon as I went to do the podcast, he would come. That's how my luck works out. But I got my package. It was something I had to sign for. So if I didn't sign for it, I wouldn't have been around tomorrow. And I wouldn't have, I would have missed it. Wouldn't have gotten it Sunday because they don't deliver on Sunday. So I'll show you what it is. I won't leave you in suspense. I just have to open it. What was I saying? Oh, I was going to talk about one pop culture thing. Autumnal Blake, you are a longtime podcast listener. Yes, there was one time when we were recording where an ice cream truck went by, and boy, oh boy, that was a podcast moment because I just, hello, Turquoise Gold Scraper. I wanted to go out and get that ice cream. I remember running out for the ice cream, but I didn't do it during the podcast, did I? I don't think I did. But yes, another fine podcast moment. Thank you, Pika Moon Salt. They are, yes, American flag shorts that I got at Walmart. I'm a fashion plate. Really, I just thought that they were silly. Not that the flag is silly, but shorts flag is silly. I was like, I got to get those. So what did I have to sign for? Here's what I had to sign for. A Pokeball Plus. I had to sign for it. Now I got it. They were originally going to deliver it earlier today, so I was expecting this was going to be taken care of, but we had some really bad weather here in Jersey. You know, we usually handle snow here just fine, but we didn't realize we were going to get this much and this early. Like, we're not even in winter yet. We might get a couple dustings or something before winter hits, but we got about 8 inches of snow here, so the whole state was unprepared. The whole tri-state area really was unprepared. There were, unfortunately, tons of accidents, and people were stuck on the highway for like ridiculous amounts of time. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 hours, like crazy kind of stuff. So packages meant for yesterday got delayed today. And if that's the worst thing I have to complain about, then I have nothing to complain about at all. So hopefully any listeners that were caught up in any of that got home safely. And we're through it now. Things are plowed and good to go. Now let me, yeah, hi Comanche, come on up. I knew you were going to be here. So let me talk about the one thing I want to talk about that is pop culture related before I actually get into regular news. I watched the first 4 episodes of the new She-Ra. Now, obviously, I know who She-Ra is or was before this show came around. And when I was a kid, I watched He-Man. And I was aware of She-Ra, but I didn't like sit down and watch She-Ra. Mom Brain did. But I was like, let me get this She-Ra shot. So I'm familiar with a couple of the characters. Hello, who's Math? I'm familiar with a couple of the characters and stuff like that. But I was like, let me give the show a shot, something I can watch while I'm working. I like it. I like the relationship between, what's her name? Can't I remember the character's name? You know, not She-Ra when she's not She-Ra. Adora and Catra. I like where their relationship is. There's some turmoil there. It's obvious they have a deep bond with one another. This is smaller than I thought it was for me. I'm into it. You know, I'm not like this is the greatest show I've ever seen. This is amazing or anything like that, but I am enjoying it. Sometimes I really like the art and sometimes I don't really like the art. There's times where I like everything, just the way it's shaded and sort of flat and angular. I like the look, and other times I'm like, that doesn't look too hot. But other than that, I'm enjoying the show. I'm having some fun with it. It's a nice show to watch while I'm doing other things. I don't have to like pay super close attention or anything like that. Here you go. Pokeball Plus. Is this how big a Pokeball is? Oh, well, I guess like in the anime when they use it, like Ash will like take it out and throw it and it gets bigger, right? Like they shrink down, right? When you put them on your belt. I don't remember. And yes, well, I was going to say I'll be wearing this on my belt, but I won't because I don't wear a belt and I don't. Bathing suit shorts don't have belt loops, but I'll figure out a way to make it work. Yes, Autumnal Blake. It is matte. It is a matte red finish and a matte white finish, not glossy. Ryan says, right, they shrink and expand. Thank you, Ryan. I'm not going crazy yet. Fully crazy, just a little bit crazy. All right, I'm going to try and fuss with this other switchblade to get it off. But we're going to go into news. See, there you go. That's it. You just push the button and you pull. I didn't want it to look like it was anything difficult. It's not. I'm just an idiot. But let's get to news. Let's do some regular news. We're going to skip that real quick. So Detective Pikachu, as we talked about last week on the podcast, there was a rating for the Detective Pikachu trailer. And we suspected that the trailer was going to be launched soon. We thought it might be tied to the new Harry Potter movie, or at least air in theaters before that. But we didn't have to wait for that because the trailer came online. So what was it? November 12th. We're on the 16th today. November 12th, the Detective Pikachu trailer was made available. The official teaser site opened, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the trailer. I really honestly like it. I thought whenever I've seen other video game movie trailers, I felt like it kind of looked the part, but it's hard to say. It's like I felt like it was missing some like soul or spirit, and it was just like the video game on the surface, and people, you know, like trying to think of a good video game movie example, but they're all so weird and strange that it's hard to pin down one. Like the Tomb Raider movies. Let's go that. I didn't see the most recent Tomb Raider movie. I saw the two with Angelina Jolie. They were like, hello, Lanquin. They were like, here's Angelina Jolie, and she's the Lara Croft of the Tomb Raider, and she's going to run around in tombs. And you're like, okay, the pieces and parts of the games are there. And yeah, I guess it looks like Tomb Raider, but it doesn't feel like Tomb Raider. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you. But with Detective Pikachu, I think the thing in the trailer that really does it for me is that you can tell that there's a lot of care and effort being put into it. Like, I feel like this is a step above, a big step above any other video game movie or video game movie trailer. It just feels like the people that are involved like care about it and are working hard to bring the world to life. I feel like it's very well done. So I watched the trailer. You know, I know people are talking about the fuzziness or the furriness of the Pokemon, and there's some debate about that, which is fine. I can understand people debating that because you're used to seeing like flat shaded Pokemon all these years, and now all of a sudden they got some fur and all that. But, you know, I thought the trailer was interesting. I thought the world looked well built. I thought they put a lot of care, or it looks to me like they're putting a lot of care into the movie. I don't think it's going to be anything Oscar worthy, but I do think it will be enjoyable for both parents and kids, longtime fans of Pokemon and new fans of Pokemon. I've heard from the gang. Oh, hello, Breakfast Fan. I heard from the guys over at IGN who got to see 2 more clips of the movie, like actual clips, not a trailer. They were saying that the movie is actually, it has a good amount of content that is, it's jokes that are aimed at making adults laugh and are a little risque, but it's the kind of stuff that flies right over a kid's head. So, you know, very much in the style of like old Warner Brothers cartoons. There were a lot of kids could watch those and enjoy them because there's a lot of physical comedy and stuff like that. But there were things that Bugs Bunny and other characters would say that would be jokes for adults, and that would just fly over the heads of kids. So I think that's a good mix. I'm interested to hear that. Andrew says, Ryan Reynolds will be fine, but he's not the voice I want coming out of my Detective Pikachu. I prefer the gruff, hard-boiled baritone of the actors from the game. Andrew, I know somebody with a hard-boiled baritone voice. How about you? How about you redub the Detective Pikachu trailer? You might not have the gruffness, but you certainly have the sweet lower end tones in your voice. I would pay to see that movie. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds wasn't my first pick for the movie either, but what I've seen in the trailer is just fine. And I understand you got to attach some star power to a film to really take it to the next level. And it seems like whether it's all just part of the plan with marketing or not, it seems like Ryan Reynolds is doing a good job of getting it out there. And obviously his attachment to the film is raising awareness as it's aimed to do. But he seems like he's having fun with the idea of being Pikachu. Like, you know, he knows it's silly and he knows it's weird, but he's embracing that. So I can appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see Danny DeVito as the voice actor. But when there's not too many movies nowadays where they're like starring Danny DeVito as, like, he's not really a big name draw, although he is in the Dumbo movie. And he looks pretty good. I mean, I like Danny DeVito in anything, so that's fine. But he is in the Dumbo movie. I don't think he's getting top billing because there's other more high-profile actors in there. Danny DeVito's star, as far as cinema goes, has faded a little bit over the years. He's obviously very popular because of TV stuff like It's Always Sunny. And like I said, I love him. But yeah, you need some bigger names in there to get people's attention. I mean, look at the Sonic movie when we see the first trailer for that. You got Jim Carrey's name in there, and we're all very eager to see what happens with that. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And the really cool thing to see is, in not typical internet fashion, it seems like the majority of fans are interested in this movie, and they liked the trailer. The downvotes to upvotes, or the thumbs ups to thumbs downs, or likes to dislikes, whatever you want to call it, likes were very far above dislikes. So positive sign right there. Mike in Television says, wow, that actually looks like a good movie, and one geared towards adults or adult-like people. Yes. I think it's gonna, yes, Andrew, redub that trailer. I think it's gonna be a film much like Pixar films that children can appreciate, but it doesn't disrespect adults. And here, this movie doesn't seem to disrespect adults, and also doesn't seem to disrespect fans of Pokemon in general. So very cool, very excited. That far surpassed my expectations for that movie, or at least for that trailer. I was not expecting anything that anywhere near that enjoyable. So count me in, day one. I will be there. Moving on, Nintendo was awarded $12 million in a piracy lawsuit. We've talked about this lawsuit before, and now it seems it's been settled. Both sides have agreed to this settlement. This is the owners of LoveRoms.com and LoveRetro.co. They were hosting, or in some cases just pointing to places where you could get ROMs of Nintendo games. And obviously Nintendo is not down with that. So Nintendo was like, hey, Boy Meets Nintendo, thanks for dropping in. You go make dinner. Have a great weekend. Obviously Nintendo's not a fan of that, so they swooped in and they were like, hey, stop doing this and you're in trouble. So they settled it. And Nintendo's going to get $12 million, although I don't really think Nintendo's going to get $12 million. I think this is like one of those situations where they're like, let's make sure publicly this states that we are getting $12 million from these people to deter anyone else from downloading ROMs or creating a site that's hosting ROMs or a site that points to hosted ROMs. But I would imagine Nintendo will, behind closed doors with this, with these people, take a much lower amount and do some sort of payment plan, obviously, because I understand Nintendo wants to vigorously protect their IP, but I also don't think that they're out to completely destroy these people's lives. Obviously, this is, I believe that was a married couple that ran these sites. They're not going to have the money. And, you know, some people will say they shouldn't have done it in the first place. Their lives deserve to be ruined. I'm not getting into that debate. Ruined monetarily, but obviously that bleeds into other areas. I'm not getting into that debate. I just personally believe, which happens in a lot of these lawsuits, a very big number is talked about publicly, and then they negotiate down to a like a feasible amount that can be paid for retribution. And I doubt we'll ever know that for sure unless we're working inside Nintendo. Shillelagh says, the expression crime doesn't pay rings true in this story. $12 million. Ouch. Yeah, it is a ton of money. It's gotten people talking. Certainly, the game industry has paid attention, and gamers have paid attention to this, and it's caused all kinds of debates. And hello, Chase. That's nice of you to tell us, Chase. Thank you. Hello, Mike Kirk. It's the ROM debate is one that's been going on for years and years now. It's never going to end. I think at the very least, the majority of people could see that Nintendo wants to stop people from downloading their games when they're not officially sanctioned and when they're not paying any money for them. You know, I think it's kind of hard to argue against that. I know some people are like, well, Nintendo's not putting those games out there, so what do I care? I'm going to go get them from a place where I can. I'm not getting into that debate. Obviously, you know where I stand on it. I don't do that. There was a time when I was a teenager many, many years ago, 75 years ago, where I did that. And then one day I was like, this is not right. Just because I want to play these games doesn't mean that I should just get them for free, and that's that. That was my own experience. I'm not knocking people who do it now. I'm not knocking people who did it and don't do it anymore. Just telling you what I went through and how I felt. Very touchy subject, no matter how you address it. So, I got a rumor, and it's a rumor. It's a rumor because Nintendo's not going to talk about it, and Amazon's not going to talk about it. This is about, you know that Nintendo, we've talked about it many times in the past, Nintendo and Amazon have a very tumultuous relationship. There have been times when Nintendo's products haven't been stocked on Amazon, and fans are like, what the hell's going on? And Nintendo's like, talk to Amazon, and Amazon's like, talk to Nintendo. So they're never going to tell us what's really going on here. The best you can hope is somebody at one of the companies like leaves and decides to leak the information. But we are hearing a rumor about Nintendo and Amazon's relationship and how it led to the demise of Amazon's 20% pre-order discount on games. So for a long time there, Amazon was offering a 20% discount on games that you pre-ordered. And rumor has it, this rumor comes from Michael Pachter, the analyst, the super analyst, if you're an old podcast fan. He says that Nintendo was not cool with Amazon doing that. And they argued with Amazon about it. And eventually Nintendo was like, well, you know what? Then you're not getting our products. And Nintendo wouldn't supply Amazon with their big games until 2 weeks after launch, which, you know, first 2 weeks of a new game out, there's a lot of sales coming from that time period. So Amazon was losing out a lot of cash there, losing out on a lot of cash there. And apparently other companies were like, oh, Nintendo's doing this? Hello, Malakalo. I don't think I said hi to you already. Other companies were like, oh, Nintendo's doing this? Well, we feel the same way. So it started to snowball from what Nintendo did, and Amazon's like, all right, we'll stop. We'll do this other thing. 20% pre-order discount is dead. And Nintendo's like, okay, we'll come back and give you some stuff. So, like I said, we've talked about this before, in a sense that we knew there was something going on between the two companies. We never heard what it was. We just knew that there was some sort of dispute, something that was causing them to not work well together. This certainly makes sense. It certainly plays out well. So I can see this being the factor that led to their disputes and then the demise of that offer that Amazon was doing. So that's the best we'll know for now. Kuro says, I thought it was due to Best Buy removing their GCU program, or did Nintendo also do the same for Best Buy? I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Best Buy's old Gamer Club offer that they don't do anymore. But yeah, I mean, if they were upset with Amazon about this kind of thing, it's not hard to imagine that they would have been also upset with Best Buy doing that stuff. So you got your issues with the biggest online retailer, and then you got your issues with one of the major retail spaces. So I don't know. That could certainly be the reason there, but we never heard anything official. Reggie Fils-Aimé has been doing the run around with a whole bunch of outlets this week talking about any number of topics, really just getting out there to be like, hey, guys, go buy Pokemon and go buy Smash Brothers, which I'm sure most of us are already doing. But he talked about some other tidbits in there, so we're going to go over some of those. He says, as far as the Americas go, the 3DS has had growth year on year for the first 3 quarters of the year, this fiscal year. Or no, I guess that's the regular year, just our normal year. First 3 quarters of the year. So 3DS has seen a decline in Japan, obviously. It's seen a decline in Europe, but in the Americas, it's doing better this year than it did last year. And again, I've talked about this. If you remember, it was either last year or the year before, 3DSs were sold out. People could not find them. And there was a lot of anger about that because people are like, this is, hello, Swedish Galaxy 94. People were like, this system's been out forever, and now there's sellouts? What the hell's going on? So Nintendo's still making money on that 3DS. they're not going to stop putting them out there. They may not be putting out a great amount of games or content for it. They're doing mostly, it seems like, re-releases, remakes, and rehashes at this point because they know, they're not going to turn it into a multi-million seller like it used to be, but they can still make money on it. So, yeah, they're going to put it out there. Reggie says he certainly hopes the 3DS has many more years ahead of it. They say as far as Switch stock goes for the holiday season, that includes Smash Brothers bundle, Pokemon bundle, Diablo bundle, other stuff like that. They said they think they're in a good spot. Well, I should take that back. They said they're in a good spot with most of them, but when it comes to the Smash Brothers Switch bundle, they say they are effectively sold out right now, but more are going to be coming. So hopefully their planned stock for the rest of the year will be taking care. We'll take care of those customers trying to find that bundle. But as of right now, it is difficult to find. We don't need to do that. Obviously, October, November, and December are very critical to Nintendo hitting their goal of 20 million Switch units sold in this fiscal year. And they say that they're well positioned to hit that number, and the Americas do their fair share of that number. So he also said pre-orders for, I don't know if it's in this top story or not, but pre-orders for Smash Brothers Ultimate and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are the highest pre-orders they've seen on the Switch so far. Hello, Mario, 7 stars. So that's really good because they're expecting these two games to really drive a lot of growth for the Switch install base this holiday season. And you would hope that those two games will have the highest amount of pre-orders. So that's a good sign right there. I mean, one of the games launched today, but these titles will both be long-tail sellers. That's without a doubt. Hello, Mr. Super Kami Popo. Yes, I know we all need a new Parents Play in our life. My parents might be coming over tonight, actually. Like I said, I'm really not lying about it. My parents are selling their house, going through a lot of that stuff. Selling your house is not fun. When Mom, Brain, and I were looking to buy a house, it was a disaster. We went through like 3 places and lost money and blah, blah, blah. Then we bought this place, which was 7 years after we gave up trying to find a house and moved into an apartment. And this was her parents' house. We bought it from her parents, and we still had trouble buying it, not because of her parents, but because of just the whole situation. Ugh. So my parents are going through their own little mini nightmare as well. And they haven't been around to film Parents Plays, or they've just been so completely drained that I'm not going to be like, hey, all right, let's go play a game. So waiting for the right mix of moments. But yes, they do want to do them. We have played one game, Wheel of Fortune, together, but it's like at 12:30 at night, and it's just a quick game. So that's about it, really. But yes, there will be another Parents Play. I promise you. I want to get back to it just as much as you guys want to see it. Anyway, and that's really it. Reggie says all the regular stuff in there. He said he wishes Smash Brothers Ultimate could have been out earlier in the year. Don't we all? But yeah, think about that. Smash Brothers, they're hoping is a major seller for them during the holiday season. It comes out December 6th, so that's tough. Hello, Mark. I hope you're doing well, too. ZX Billy says, nope. Sean Snocta says, 3DS will continue to be a profitable little cash cow for another while yet. Just saw Mario Kart 7 re-enter the sales charts. I hope there is enough supply to meet demand for those planning on getting Switch with Pokemon and Smash releasing. Or do I hope there isn't enough supply? Either way, I hope Nintendo has a good next 6 weeks of sales. Well, there's no doubt they will have a good set of weeks when it comes to sales. They will be the highest for the year, without a doubt. Hello, Philip. But how big is it going to be? They're aiming for that 20 million units sold in this fiscal year. They have 5 million units sold so far, and they have until March 2019 to hit that goal. Are they expecting too much? I think they are. I think they're going to be around 15 million units sold. Hopefully I'm wrong. 15 million units sold is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But if they don't hit their own projected goal, you know how it goes with analysts and investors and all that stuff. So I see you asking me, hello, Morisaki. Somebody, hello, oh boy, how do I say your name? I love you, person I can't say your name. Oh, God. Tabington. I'm just going to say Tabington. Please spell it phonetically, and I'll say it right, but I apologize for saying it wrong. I see you guys saying plug in my Pokeball, but I don't want to plug it into my computer because one more thing and this computer is going to blow up. I don't want to ruin the show because of it. But yes, I do want to plug it in. I can't get over how small it is. That's great. Moving on. We at 40 already? Switch Online NES version 1.2.0 is now available, and it includes Metroid, Mighty Bomb Jack, Twin Bee, and the surprise title, Gradius SP. Over in Japan, they got Mario Open Golf SP. I don't know if that's going to come stateside or not. But for those wondering, Gradius SP gives you a fully powered Vic Viper. The Vic Viper is the name of your ship. And it takes you straight to the 5th stage of the game. So perhaps for those of you who have been struggling with Gradius in general, this might be the way to go at it. You'll be further into the game, but you'll have a fully powered up ship. Entropy says, will be nice to play Metroid once again. I am paying for this after all. Well, yes, if you're paying for the service, why not use some of the service's features? That's usually how it goes. I don't know what the last NES game was I played on Switch. I haven't. What is this? Wow. There's a new type of ad on the site that I didn't even know we had. Did we do this? Sometimes I see stuff on the site and I'm like, was this approved? It's not like a bad ad or anything. It's an ad for Huggies, but like it's one of those, you know how when you scroll on sites, this ad conversation has got Nikki Hill really going last week. You know how you scroll on sites, sometimes it's a newish kind of ad. It's almost like there's an ad behind the website and you scroll and then there's like a window to the ad behind the site and you look at it and it's kind of like strange and interesting looking the way the ad is presented. So you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, I could just show you for those of you watching. So like I'm scrolling and it's like, whoop, here's the Huggies ad. And I clicked it. God damn it. You got what I was saying. One of those weird ads. But yes, it's these moments where I'm like, did I say we could do those ads? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Hopefully it's not too annoying to you guys. If it is, let me know. Nintendo says that Metroid Prime 4 is well into development. Again, this comes from the big man, Reggie Fils-Aimé. This is another interview where he said a whole bunch of things about Nintendo in general. He says Super Mario Party exceeded sales expectations quite significantly. He also said, as I mentioned, Metroid Prime 4 is well into development, and they say they have expectations about when it's going to be released. But obviously, they're not telling us that. So the game is at some sort of point where they have a somewhat solid expectation of when they're going to be able to get it out to consumers. Probably, you know, something like a Q3, Q4, something like that. Not a specific release date yet, but they're honing in on that. So that's exciting news because we haven't really heard anything about Metroid Prime 4 since it was officially announced. Well into development is a very good sign. All the usual stuff in there. The real tidbit was that. But at the end of the interview, Reggie says, there are brand new surprises that we haven't shared yet. What we want to do is surprise and delight our fans in ways that they didn't even think of. So, typical Nintendo. We like to surprise fans. I like Nintendo surprises as well. They have things in the works that they haven't told us about yet that we'll have to just wait until later. Andrew says Metroid Prime 4 is well into development. Good, then we can expect to see it in 3 years. I'm gonna say I want to say end of 2019, but I think I'm gonna say somewhere between January and March of 2020. It pains me to say that because I don't want that to be true. But I feel like that's what it's going to be. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be like a big game. That's going to be a tentpole title for the Switch. I really don't think that's one where you like poop it out, quote unquote, poop it out in the summer. I mean, there's been plenty of big games that have come out in the summer. But it depends, because like Animal Crossing is coming. Animal Crossing is going to be a major title for the Switch, big for the expanded audience. Maybe that'd be a good 1-2 punch for the end of the year, Animal Crossing and Metroid Prime 4, because you get one is like very hardcore, one is expanded audience. So yeah, I don't know, could happen. Cross our fingers for it making it out in 2019. And again, there's all that speculation that Nintendo is going to show like the first like real trailer for the game at the Game Awards this year, which is on December 6th. We know Nintendo is involved. That's 100% confirmed. Nintendo's ramped up what they've been doing at the Game Awards in recent years, so that bodes well. Reggie and Jeff Keighley, the host and creator of the Game Awards, they have a very good relationship. So I wouldn't be surprised if they showed something there. I don't think that's really the place where you show more Animal Crossing for Switch. It's, you know, quote unquote hardcore gamers that watch the Game Awards. So, yeah, I think Metroid Prime 4, a trailer during that makes a lot of sense. To tell you the truth, I'm very good friends with Jeff Keighley. I should just start emailing him and being like, hey, what's going on? Give me a little secret. He will not do that. He will harass me in a friendly way. But yeah, I'm not going to get any inside information on that. I wish I could. Autumnal Blake says, a Nintendo without surprises isn't a Nintendo at all. Isn't that the truth? Nintendo, for better or worse, loves their surprises, and they play some things very close to their chests. So, yep, that's a part of being a Nintendo fan. If you don't like surprises... Philip, I see you asking me to plug that Pokeball in, but well, to tell you the truth, I can't. Never mind. I can't because I'm out of USB ports. I have mouse, keyboard, microphone, camera. I'm out. That's 5 USBs. I'm done. I got no more USBs. Sorry. I have an actual reason why I can't do it. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes has been officially confirmed for retail. This is something we knew was happening, but wasn't announced by the publisher yet. We knew because of retailers like Amazon and others that put a retail listing up for the game. But yes, this week they officially confirmed it. We also knew that the retail version was going to include the Season Pass. And now we got a little bit of detail on what that Season Pass includes. The Season Pass will offer an additional character, an additional adventure scenario, and an additional stage. We don't know who the character is. We don't know what the stage is. Or we don't know anything about the scenario, but now you know what you're getting for your money. Also, I think this retail package is $40, so that's great. That's great. I don't know how much the eShop version is going to be. Hopefully a little bit less than that. But yeah, now you can get so for fans of No More Heroes, you will have a retail option for this spin-off entry in the franchise. It's nice because I'm sure a lot of you have the first 2 games on Wii or on other platforms, and you want to continue to support the franchise, but also have a physical representation that you bought the game. So now you can do that. And it's being published by Nintendo. I want to point that out. Nintendo is publishing No More Heroes, or Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Fish has the top-rated comment, and he says, Nintendo handled publishing Bayonetta 2 when no one else would, and then they added Bayonetta to Smash. Nintendo decided the 5 DLC fighters for Ultimate and is publishing this. I would be ecstatic if Travis was in No More Heroes as a playable character. I don't think that would ever happen. I hope I'm wrong. There was certainly a time where I would have thought Bayonetta would have never happened, but here we are. So yeah, I'll cross my fingers on that one. Oh boy, this is my favorite, not favorite story of the week. Good Lord. I can't believe this, man. This is something else. So Nintendo Russia, yes, there is a Nintendo Russia. Their CEO there, I'm going to butcher his name, Yasha, that's easy enough, Hadaji. We'll go with Yasha Hadaji. He's the CEO of Nintendo Russia. There have been reports for a long time now that he was not doing a good job, and Nintendo fans in Russia were hurting because of this guy's lack of ability to do the job, we shall say. Lots of mismanagement and stuff like that. So fans have been angry. Hello, Vesh. Fans have been angry for a long time. And there were rumors of employees being upset with this guy as well. But now we're past the like rumors and rumblings. We have official evidence that this guy might not be the best at his job. So there is a Mario Kart 8. Yes, competence. Thank you, Autumnal Blake. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. I was having a brain fart. There's a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe live stream event that Nintendo Russia was putting on. And it was for an event called Level Up Days. So the plan was play in an online tournament, stream it to Nintendo fans, and that's that. The stream was having some hiccups. Hello, Edgar. The stream was having some hiccups, but it was live. These two guys were doing it, not the CEO. And then somebody off camera starts like complaining and arguing and stuff. And in walks Mr. Hadaji. And he is not happy. First off, he doesn't think the stream was live. He was like, there's no post on the social media site that they were using. And he's like, no, it's not there. We're not live. I can't see it. And he's like, look at my phone. It's not there. Can't see it. Meanwhile, there are others watching. They know it's live. And he was not happy, and he starts bad-mouthing employees and harassing them about saying, like, you're not able to do this job. What are you, dumb? He called someone a retard, an employee called a retard. And then he starts cursing, dropping F-bombs and other stuff like that. And you can just tell he's completely frazzled. He is not handling things professionally. No matter how bad the situation gets, when you're in circumstances like that, you have to keep your cool. If you feel like you can't keep your cool, tell everybody, I'm stepping away for a moment. I will be back. I just need to calm down. Hello, Video Game Guru. So he did not do that. And this was all recorded online because, again, it was being streamed. And then I forget what happens at the end as far as him finding out that it actually is live. But he's like, oh, it's live? Take it down. Take it down. And like orders the stream to end. So it's like a good 10 to 15 minutes of awkwardness, this whole thing. And then he tried to remove the archived version of this video, but it's the internet. Nothing ever disappears from the internet. So obviously fans collected the footage, put it out there, and they said, look, we love Nintendo, but here in Russia, the situation is completely dire because of this guy, like we've been telling you. So the footage went out there, undeniable evidence that the guy is, at the very least, not the right guy for this job. And then other employees started to come out and be like, yeah, I have my stories about this guy. He did this, that, and the other thing. He mishandles this and all that, and this and that, and this and that. So yeah, it's not a very good time for him. Nintendo has not put out an official statement on this situation or what happened, as far as I know. I don't know Mr. Hadaji's standing with the company right now, but I can't imagine it's very good. And I would be extremely surprised if Nintendo didn't swoop in and take care of this. So I don't know. Yes, the Aloe says, sounds awkward. Yes, it's awkward. You want to see awkward? Go to the post and watch the footage. It's uncomfortable and cringy and awkward. But yeah, not the kind of guy you want to be representing your company no matter what region they're in. Ben Golden Triforce says, what is with Nintendo Russia today? Yeah, there was a talk about how Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is in very short supply in Russia and is pretty much impossible to find. And I believe what was said was that this guy, Mr. Hadaji, was like, Eevee's not that popular a character. We don't want that one. That was it. He didn't order, or he didn't put in the requests for enough units or many units at all, because he was just like, people want Pikachu. I would imagine more people would want Pikachu, but still. Hello, Retro, as you are late. You are 53 minutes late for this completely random podcast that wasn't announced more than 5 minutes or more than 15 minutes before we went live. But I'll forgive you. It's okay. So yeah, not the best guy. If he gets let go, I'll be sure to let you guys know. North America. What did we get in North America on the Switch eShop? We got Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu available right now. Sid Meier's Civilization 6 is also available. Came out today. Warframe is coming out November 20th. Good Lord Almighty. Have you checked out that Warframe footage on the Switch? Panic Button are wizards. That game looks unbelievable. I was looking at some comparison footage. That might be their best work yet. And it looks like it runs like a dream. Not surprised. It's Panic Button. And even if the game when it comes out to the public, even if there's some hiccups and stuff people notice, you can be sure that Panic Button is going to iron those issues out as best as possible because they've done it time and time again. Their games, their Switch ports, which were impressive when they launched, have only gotten better with time because they put out significant patches to make things even more impressive. So good for them, man. What an awesome company. Very well-deserving of all the praise and attention they're getting. Also available, the Neo Geo game Thrash Rally, Arcade Archives Urban Champion, Art of Balance got a demo, Circle of Sumo, Croc's World, which is about an alligator, but it's not the Croc from like the PlayStation era. I don't know what happened to me when I was when I was playing the original PlayStation, but for some reason I decided my allegiance was with Croc rather than Spyro. Not a good bet to make. I don't know why I was like, no, Spyro for me. I'm going Croc. Like I played Crash Bandicoot, but Spyro, I was just like, nope, I'll play Croc. Not a good decision. Yeah. Maybe they're not as bad as I remember. They weren't that good, though. I think there were 2 Croc games. But this Croc is a completely different Croc. Johnny Turbo's Arcade, Heavy Barrel, Just Dance 2019 got a demo. Mace Space Shooter is available. Mahjong, Mars Chaos Menace, Mimpy Dreams. That's a great name. Mother Russia Bleeds. Motor Racer 4 comes out on the 20th. Rockets, Rockets, Rockets. That's all one word. No spaces in there. Soap Dodgem, which is a puzzle game. Solitaire Battle Royale. Or I guess it's just Battle Royal. Storm Boy comes out on the 20th. Tin Boy. Storm Boy and Tin Boy. Toast Time. Smash Up. Trailblazers. That racing game is out now. Uno has a demo. Why do you need a demo for Uno? Well, maybe you're like, I wonder if Ubisoft did another crappy port. Let's try the demo and find out. But I don't think anybody's like, Uno, what's this all about? Pretty much everybody knows what Uno is, right? Valiant Hearts, Word Sudoku by Paugi has a demo. YouTuber's Life, OMG Edition comes out November 20th. Last Soldier is on the Wii U. And Pinball Breakout 2 is on the 3DS. Yes, I said Wii U and 3DS. A new game for each one this week. Can you believe it? There is a weird flashlight behind you. Oh, I apologize for that. There is a street across the street that comes at our house. So it is not a flashlight. It's a headlight. You said that, and I was like, I immediately got scared. I was like, somebody's breaking in. Mom Brain's not here. Who's going to take care of me? Steel Diver says, I got a new job, so now I can afford games again. And it pays a lot more than when I worked at Redacted Games Store. So I can afford even more games. Steel Diver, you tell us you got money to buy games. You can buy more games. And then you don't tell us what games you're going to get? Come on, dude. Somebody's peeking in, and they're like, what's this weird fat guy doing? He's talking to a computer. Europe. What did Europe get? They got Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Civilization 6. Bibby and Tina Adventures with Horses. Ride as Bibby or Tina over hill and dale through the glorious countryside around Martinshof. Persistent training with your horse will constantly improve your riding skills, face numerous challenges, and demonstrate your strong nerves and sporting prowess in the decisive race in the maze. I don't know. I just felt I needed to read that because I know we are all interested in learning about Bibby and Tina. Bass Pro Shops The Strike and Cabela's The Hunt Championship Edition are both available. SNK 40th Anniversary Collection Smite, which was announced by Nintendo Europe, and Nintendo America was like, no, we don't know anything about it. And then a day later, like, oh yeah, that's coming. Mahjong, Tin Boy, Aces of the Luftwaffe, Squadron Extended Edition, Desktop Soccer, Palm Reading Premium. You know what that game's about. Stakes Winner 2. That's like high stakes, not as in like food stakes. Arcade Archives, Atomic RoboKid, Destruction, Mace Space Shooter, Mimpy Dreams, Mother Russia Bleeds, Rockets, Soap Dodge'em, Swamp Defense 2, Super Hydora, Teddy the Wanderer, Kayaking. Join two friends on a beautiful journey among nature. Teddy the Wanderer and his friend Piglet, that same Piglet, take advantage of the spring weather and go on a kayaking trip, roam the colorful hand-painted locations, and meet Mr. Catfish, who needs a lesson in kindness. So that turned really dark, like, hey, Mr. Catfish, time to teach you a lesson. And an unforgettable adventure that mixes fun and a healthy dose of learning. Our lovable characters solve numerous puzzles, testing mathematical skills, eye-hand coordination, logical thinking, and perceptiveness. No, not Tiddy the Wanderer, Teddy, Teddy. Hi, Philip, I see you. I was kind of like interested just because it sounded unique until we got to the mathematical skills and all that. It's a teaching game. Those games are completely fine. They deserve to have a spot in the market. Just, I'm not going to play it. Trailblazers, Circle of Sumo, Coloring Book. The Coloring Book. 48 beautiful drawings. Cats, Construction Site, Ocean, Dinosaurs, Girls' Room, and Farm. Where's Boys' Room? Mars, Chaos Menace, Solitaire Battle Royal, Windstorm, Toast Time, Smash Up, Demo for Just Dance 2019, 99 Vidas, Breakout Defense 2, Pinball Breakout 2. These are all demos. Insect Planet TD, and the Wii U eShop got Insect Planet TD. There you go. So if you're a Wii U owner, you got something new to play this week. Hopefully it's worth your time. I am guessing that it is not. Sean Snocta says, I'm going to be picking up Pokemon Eevee and Civilization 6 this weekend. Both digital. Why? Because I believe. We have a believer in digital. Hey, let me take a moment again to thank you guys for joining me live. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I can just be like, hey, podcast, it's in 15 minutes. Sorry about the late notice. And you guys come in. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's your Friday, and this is what you're doing on your Friday. Thank you. I'm sure, well, I've talked about this before. Lots of people don't just sit and like listen to a podcast. Like, time to listen to a podcast, put on headphones and just sit there and do nothing. They're like watching TV or writing or eating or any other, like a podcast, or in the car driving somewhere where you're trapped and you have nothing else to do. Autumnal Blake, playing the part of Nikki Hill, says, shut up and read the news, RMC. You're right. I will never thank you guys again. You're right. Direct all hatred to Autumnal Blake. Nintendo has said that an N64 Classic is, quote, not in their planning, end quote. Among other things. Again, Reggie Fils-Aimé asked flat out about the N64 Classic, and he says, we were clear when we did the first two Classic series that for us, these were limited time opportunities that were a way for us as a business to bridge from the conclusion of the Wii U as a hardware system to the launch of the Switch. That was the very strategic reason we launched the NES Classic system. So while consumers may have been anticipating something, we view these as limited time opportunities. We've also now been very clear that as the consumer looks forward to engaging with our classic content, that this is going to happen more and more with the subscription service on Switch. I would not ever rule out something, but what I can tell you is that it's certainly not in our planning horizon. So there you go. Very rare that we get a very straightforward answer like that. Nothing's in the works right now. Never say never, but very clearly not in development right now. And very honest by Reggie right there, saying, listen, Wii U didn't do so hot. Petered out. We had to kill it off sooner than we thought. We still had to get the Switch out. There's some time in between there when things were dead for the Wii U and the Switch wasn't out yet, so we needed to make some moolah, some dough, some buckaroos. So NES, Super NES Classic, bing, boom. Made some money there. Switch followed up. Makes sense to me. I wish one of these reporters would have asked Reggie about the patent that surfaced for the what looked like the case for your cell phone that made it not just look like a Game Boy, but seemingly play Game Boy games. Hello, Drew. Because I think that's going to be their next classic thing. They're just not doing it yet because when the 3DS dies out, which we're certainly getting there, I don't know if Nintendo's going to do another dedicated portable. Now, obviously, they have the revenue streams going there, so when the 3DS dies out enough, based on what Reggie says here, the Wii U died out, they needed revenue, they did these other things. Why not bring that thing to cell phones? That'd be the perfect time for that second revenue stream. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense, but nobody asked them. I would have. Damn it. He also talks about the Switch Online service and the potential for more classic games. He says, as you've already pointed out, we haven't even made the full library of NES games available yet, so this content has to be optimized for the Switch environment. That's something we're working very hard to do. Like you, I look forward to playing Metroid through the Switch Online service, and we'll be continuing to release content that way. So he's saying, like, hey, chill, man. We got a lot of NES games to play on the Switch, and we got a lot of them to bring there. And classic games, if you're looking for those, it's the Switch Online service. Are we going to do stuff like Super Nintendo, N64, any of that? Questions for another day. We're talking about NES right now. Talks about DLC for Smash Brothers. He says this, as Sakurai said, Nintendo has already decided on the characters, and Sakurai is well into development on the DLC. Please be patient. He says, my interpretation is that there will be no fan polls. Obviously, there won't because the characters are decided. And no independent polling that tries to push Waluigi, as an example, will influence the decisions that have already been made. So, ooh. Reggie's a little more straightforward in this interview. He's like, listen, you got your Waluigi polls out there, and you're like, 75,000 fans have signed my poll, and they want Waluigi to be playable. Well, our decision's been made. Characters are being worked on. Your poll don't mean shovel. So, I mean, there you go. And that's not the case all the time, obviously. There are polls that Nintendo pays attention to. There are polls that Nintendo does on their own. But this time, he's like, listen, your polls don't matter. We already made the decision. It's done. We're making the characters. That's it. That's all there is to it. And then he was specifically asked, will Waluigi be playable in Smash Bros. Ultimate? And Reggie says, we're not here to discuss that at this point in time. What does that mean? Does it mean shut up, stop talking about Waluigi? Does it mean, God damn it, I'm tired of hearing about Waluigi? Does it mean we know the conversation's out there? You'll just have to wait. I don't know. What does it mean? I don't know. It's not a definite yes. It's not a definite no. It's just we're not talking about that today. So when we're past a full year of DLC for Smash Bros. Ultimate, Waluigi has been made playable, then you can ask him, and he'll be like, no, he's not. We're not doing it. Esports stuff. He talks about cloud gaming, and he's like, cloud gaming. What's the word? Another word that I'm forgetting. The infrastructure for high-speed internet is not the same in the States as it is in Japan. That's why the Japanese side of things got these cloud games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7, and why they haven't released in places like America. So there you go. He talks about how people are like, why are you putting WarioWare Gold and Luigi's Mansion on 3DS and put them on Switch? He's like, well, you know, Switch, or he's saying 3DS is for like the little kids, and we're doing that kind of compilation reports and stuff because they're young and they haven't played those games, so put them over there. And with the 3DS or with the Switch, we're trying to focus on new stuff. And he's like, you got Luigi's Mansion 3, whatever it's called, coming to the Switch. He's like, new stuff on Switch. The older stuff redone for 3DS because we got the younger audience there. Why not put them on both? That's what they should do. There's no doubt that WarioWare Gold would have sold significantly more if they put that on Switch as well. What does it hurt to put on both? That's the question. more development time, more cost. Yes, I guess they were like, doesn't make sense. Want something that exclusively pushes people to 3DS. Maybe they have a regular WarioWare in the works for Switch. God, I hope so. I want another console WarioWare so badly. WarioWare Smooth Moves is one of my favorite games. It was like the pinnacle for me of Wii motion controls and just the weirdness of Wario and the uniqueness of Nintendo. Hello, Blood Ocean. The uniqueness of Nintendo. Oh, man, do I love that game so much. I really, really want a new WarioWare on Switch. But I would imagine with the 3DS one coming out soon, if there is one that comes to Switch, it won't be for quite some time, which makes me very sad. I hope I'm wrong on that. Lanquin says 1-2 Switch was a good test for WarioWare. Yeah, that is true. It's what? It sold over 1 million units. I'm sure WarioWare on the Switch could do the same. Psycho Duck says, we're not going to discuss that at this point in time. Translation, holy crap, stop asking about this, please. Yeah, Psycho Duck, we are on the same wavelength there, my friend. I completely agree. It's like, oh, God, is every interview going to have a question about Waluigi? But on the other hand, fans are very angry about it. Fans are very loud about it. And it's Reggie's job. Gets asked questions. Doesn't matter how many times it gets asked. That's part of his job. He's going to answer questions. There are some unsavory people out there who decide that they want to pirate new games. And one of those games is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. And someone out there decided to do a little something about that. They put out a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu ROM, quote unquote. But really, it's a little more nefarious than that. When people downloaded this ROM and went to play it on their Switch, it crashed their Switch and bricked in some cases. Now, I know bricked is a term that people get mad about because they're like, nothing can be done that can't be undone. The only way to brick a piece of hardware is to actually hit it with a brick and break it. So yes, I'm sure there are ways that this bricking, quote unquote, could be unbricked, but it is not what people were looking to download, and it is causing problems for those who did download and try to run it. So there you go. Now, I don't know how you look at this. Is the guy that did this a good guy? Is the guy that did this a bad guy? It's one of those gray areas. I don't know how you feel about it. Sean Snocta says, knowing how piracy is enabled on Switch, this is reversible. There you go. There you go. Like I said, yes, most instances when a Switch or when a piece of hardware is bricked, there is someone out there. Hello, Remo or Zidane. Zidane, is that like you, Zidane? Like old school Zidane from 1 billion years ago, Zidane? So yes, there's usually someone out there who can reverse whatever damages have been done. That is true. But, you know, I can't get into the whole piracy talk. It's so many opportunities. Old Zidane. You're saying it with an exclamation point, so I don't know if you're I don't know if you're offended or you're telling me, yes, I'm the old Zidane. Zidane never left. Zidane, as far as I can remember, is one of the longest readers of GoNintendo. Back when it was just on printed paper in the 1800s. EEDAR. I'm just going to say EDAR from now on. EDAR did a study to show potential interest in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee from Pokemon Go players, because obviously Nintendo, Pokemon Company, and Game Freak were trying to leverage the Pokemon Go players or user base and bring them over to the Switch, because they're like, you know, there's bazillions of people playing Pokemon Go. Let's make a Pokemon game on a Switch that puts in some features from the old Pokemon games, puts in some features from Go, marries them together, and try and woo some of those people and bring over the regular fans as well. Obviously, that makes some excuse me, that makes some old fans angry. They're like, I don't want Go catching mechanics. So many topics where I could like talk about for hours, but that's not why we're here. Reporting the news. Supposed to be impartial here. So EDAR did a study to show what the crossover was, and they say, what is this? Is this something different from what I thought this was supposed to? No, this is today. Oh, it's just a really long press release. The tidbit I'm looking for is at the bottom. Whatever. I'm not reading through all this. Oh, wait. I think I found it. 15% of total current Pokemon Go players intend to purchase and play the Switch version of Pokemon Let's Go. In addition, more than 13% of Pokemon Go players who do not currently play games on a Switch intend to purchase and play Pokemon Let's Go. This is a large group of individuals that intend to buy a Switch primarily to play Pokemon Let's Go. So the numbers worked out to something like, and this just goes for like based on this survey, poll, study, whatever you want to call it. So the actual number is going to be higher. If everyone who answered the poll is being honest, which they're not, that's just how people are. But in the ballpark, give or take 1 million, it should be about 8 million people who are planning to buy a Switch just to play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. Doesn't mean they're doing it day one when it comes out, but 8 million people right there are planning to do it. And then obviously there's the number eventually for the game's install base will be higher than that. I don't think anyone will question that. It'll take a while to get there. But this survey right here, even if it varies by 10% or so, shows that this was a very smart decision on Nintendo's behalf because this is a system seller for people, and they were specifically working with Pokemon Go features because they wanted to woo some of those consumers. So again, this survey is not going to include everybody. So take some of the liars and take people that, it's going to be there's a much larger install base. So this could potentially, the results of this study show that this could potentially help Nintendo in a big way hit that 20 million units sold. Again, we need the numbers for, October is going to have a little bit of it because you get to ramp up into the holiday season, but we're looking at November and December here to see what's really going to happen. So I don't know. The study results show that there's potential for really big stuff as far as sales go. The pre-orders, according to Nintendo, show that as well. Swedish Galaxy says, Let's Go and Go are different games in my opinion, so I'm not buying Let's Go. Yes, they are. The survey specifically did not mention the people who said they play Go and are not buying Let's Go, or are planning on buying Let's Go and do not play Go. They were specifically talking about Pokemon Go players who are buying the game, and then Pokemon Go players who are buying a Switch just to play the game. People in the chat are talking about the chair on my left in real life. It's a chair where the cat sleeps on. It's a very creepy chair. It's not like, oh, that's the ghost chair. Keep an eye on it. The cat sleeps on that chair sometimes, or sleeps underneath it too. There's a paper bag under the chair that he likes to hang out in. So basically, this whole house is places for the cat to hang out. I'll get out of the way. Well, if you can see in the background, there's like cat tunnels and like paper for the cat to play with and stuff. It's like a cat playground, and we just like hang out here. Hawk says, I was really skeptical that many people would be coaxed over to the Switch from the actual Pokemon Go app, so this is surprising news to me. Well, it'll all bear out when the holiday season ends. Like I said, people lie in polls all the time. Why? I don't know. Obviously, more so if you're polling with a person, like someone's actually asking you these questions and you have to respond to them. Now, if you're just filling in data, not so much lying there. Still liars. I don't know. It's weird. The whole thing's weird. Yes, Pedro. I was going to address that, but it's not a top story because there was no story. The executive producer of the Castlevania series on Netflix, was saying he was going to announce something today. It was a collaboration with a Japanese company for a what was the iconic game franchise, and many people were thinking, oh, it's going to be Zelda. He's doing Zelda. The announcement came out today. It's tied to Devil May Cry. Pedro is upset that there's no Zelda animated series announced today, as am I. I waited to do that. I finished like my first round of work like 10 minutes before 4 p.m., which is when the guy was supposed to announce what he was doing. And I was like, let me just hold off in case this guy announces Zelda. He didn't. Philip says, my buddy's Pokemon Let's Go order from Amazon was delayed. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Go over and console them. The Switch GameCube controller adapter has been delayed in the UK until May 2019. That's a long delay. This is due to unforeseen production issues, according to Nintendo. So earlier this week, we had a lot of you guys emailing in saying that your Amazon orders, your Amazon UK orders for the GameCube controller adapter were canceled. So I posted about that, and I was like, I wonder what's going on there. Now we know. Nintendo says, thank you for your recent pre-order of the Nintendo GameCube controller adapter for Switch through the UK store. We are contacting you as the GameCube controller adapter has been postponed until May 2019 due to an unforeseen production issue. Please rest assured that once we have a confirmed launch date, we will notify you, and it does not impact any other Smash Bros. Ultimate items you may have pre-ordered at the same time. So the bundles that include the controller adapter, those are okay. But if you just bought the individual controller adapter, you are in trouble. Here's the good news. There are third-party options. There's a good amount of third-party options. Hello, Monka Kerr. So there's third-party options. Also, there's the Wii U GameCube controller adapter, which works exactly the same. So you could use that as well. So there are other options out there. You can be disappointed that this issue popped up, especially so close to launch. But you should be able to find an option. I think Mayflash does one, and there's other companies. La Ceterne says, I wonder how this will impact the limited edition, which is supposed to include one of these things. Again, it will not. This is just the standalone option. So worry not, my friends. Then finally, our last top story. I should have got a drink, my voice. Fro5000 says, attention UK folks, I'm offering a pre-owned GameCube controller adapter for the low price of $300. Buy now. That's a good deal, guys. Get in on it. He only accepts V-Bucks, actually. He wants to be paid in V-Bucks. Finally, our last story today is about Panic Button, again, who is most recently working on Warframe, which comes out next week, but has worked magic on a whole bunch of Switch ports. They say, despite what you've seen and what you think they can get more out of the Switch. Panic Button's Adam Crichton says that there's still a lot of room to get the most out of the Switch. So he thinks they can still squeeze some tricks and power out of the system. We will get to see if that's true because they have other games in the works for the Switch. We just don't know what they are. So I'm very excited to see what they do. Like I said, Warframe to me looks like their most impressive one so far. So I don't know what other high-profile ports there could be that would really, really test the system, but I'm sure there's games out there. Steel Diver says, port everything to Switch. I'd like some more open-world games, and I want Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Switch and GTA 5 and Muppets Party Cruise. We all want Muppets Party Cruise. Tom from MySpace says, what do you call an old sandwich? Peanut butter and smelly. Hi, Tom from MySpace. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being my friend for all those years. You're a good guy. You're a real good guy. I still get weekly emails from MySpace, which is like, hey, come check out the latest music over on MySpace. And I'm like, what the hell's going on MySpace? I'm logging in to the, it's very hard to do this. It's very hard to talk and type. I'm logging into the email for questions right now because I will be answering some of your questions. Because normally right now I would talk about what I've played. I haven't played anything. I haven't played anything. I didn't play anything this week. Is that true? I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, I haven't played anything this week. Yeah, it's been so busy. So busy. It's almost like it's the holiday season or something. I mean, my first round on the site. So not to get into like the nitty gritty of it. That's really funny because it says HQ right here. And that's what Scott Rogowski says. Well, like I have a certain routine that I go through with GoNintendo when I'm updating it. and I do like all this stuff, which can sometimes take a long time, depending on the news, or sometimes doesn't take too long. Like today, I went to bed at 6, and I got up at 10:45. And I worked from 11 to 4 straight doing news on the site. And now I'm doing this, and then I'm going to go right back to the site and do another round. And then I'll get a break. So that's what this whole week has been like, minus the podcast. The first rounds have been so long. Hello, Massimo. It's okay if you're late. Just thanks for joining anyway. This week has been like that all day long. It's like I just don't get a break. And at the end of the day, which I'm sure is something many of you feel with your regular jobs or school or whatever it may be, you get done with your responsibilities and your chores and whatever, and you're like, I am too tired to do anything. Thanks, Drew. Too tired to do anything. I need to lay down on the couch and maybe like watch some TV, and like that's it. And I'm like, and I'll wake up the next day and I'm like, God damn it, now I just gotta work again. I wanted to play something. So that's how it's been all week. I haven't had a chance to play. What I think is gonna happen tonight is, because there's a family party tomorrow, my sister is visiting, and I think she's coming over later tonight. And I believe she's going to play for the first time ever Undertale. I'm very excited about. Oh, that's another thing before I get into the questions. I've talked about Undertale and Deltarune a lot on this podcast. Yeah, I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying like, oh, boo-hoo, my work is so hard, I never get a break. That's not the case at all. I was just explaining like why I haven't played anything. And I know many of you guys work as hard, if not harder than me. Everything is relative. Everybody has the things they got to get done, the jobs they got to do, the chores they got to take care of, the families they have to feed and clothe and all that stuff. It's all relative. So I know you all are hard workers and you deserve way more free time than you get. And none of us have as much time to do the leisure activities as we would like. This got really depressing. Undertale, Deltarune. That's the other thing that I've been feeling. So I played Deltarune and I finished that, and I was like, God damn, that Toby Fox, man, he's a magical person. Something about that guy is so in tune with me, like my sensibilities and the way I feel and the way things hit me. It's like he's like in my brain. And I think it's like that for a lot of people, which is why so many people enjoyed Undertale. It's just his work to me is so impactful that I finish something like Deltarune and I'm like, man, I'm not going to play anything. I don't want to play Spider-Man because that's not going to do it for me. I don't want to play Pokemon because that's not going to do it for me. It just, Undertale makes me think and makes me feel and makes me question and makes me, it makes me do what I'm doing right now. So I'm sure many of you have a game in your life that does stuff like that. A game that really means something to you and really is like head and shoulders above others in the way that it makes you feel, like it gives you a unique feeling that you don't get from other experiences. So yeah, that's what it's been like for me lately. I've had that with other games before, and you get over that hump and you play. I mean, I'm obviously gonna play Pokemon. I have the Pokeball, which I'll throw at my sister tonight. All right, let's do a question. B. Mori says, which of the cast members play HQ and what is the closest you've got to winning? Unless you're the person who won. Was it Nicholas Mountain? I can't remember. Which of the cast members closest to winning? Nikki Hill has won. Mom Brain has gotten to like question 10, I think. I know it's you. Autumnal Blake. Yeah, I got you. I don't know how far Kirby's gotten. All of our friends play. Like anybody that's ever been on a podcast plays Do Michael's PC. Any family member? Yeah, we all play. As far as playing religiously, I haven't played this week because I've been so busy. I just don't have the time to stop. But I usually play every week. I'll play most every day. Sometimes there's a day or two that I miss, but yeah, most every day I'll play. And I have won twice. I missed a phone call. I missed a phone call. I have won twice. And technically, I won 3 times because my mom won, but I answered all the questions for it because it was the night where it was video game trivia, and she knew a couple of them, but she didn't know all of them. So yeah, I won on that. My phone was dead, so I wasn't playing on my phone, so I played on her phone, and she won, quote unquote, but she knows it was me. There's my, let me make sure there's no personal information here that can't be shared. There's my proof that I've won HQ. It does not say 2 times, but it does say that I've won $19. So yeah, I won $7 the first time, and then the remainder, once for the bulk and again for the remainder on the second show. I like HQ. I love trivia. I just love the idea of a game show on your phone. It's just fun. I like it. I like the whole idea. I'm a big game show fan. Again, that's something you know if you followed the podcast for a long time. I love game shows. Love them. Yes, I'll tell No Blake. I will probably be playing tonight because I should have a little bit of free time, and I'll have family here so we can all help each other. I'll do another question. Nico, well, I should ask any of you guys, have you won? I'll keep an eye on the chat. If I missed it, I'm sorry, but have you won? Nico Darunia says, hey there. Here's a very important question for you. Is salt a spice or not? This is really weird. I was just having this conversation with Mom Brain a couple days ago. I was like, is salt a spice? Is pepper a spice? And we got into a whole discussion about it, and I don't remember where we ended. What qualifies a spice? I don't know. I mean, do you not call salt a spice just because it's so common? Like it's on every restaurant table and every dining room table. Salt and pepper are there. Are they just not spices because they've ascended beyond spice? Like spices are a little more less frequently used. So cinnamon's a spice. Scary is a spice. Yes, cumulative. Morisaki says salt is a mineral. Cumulative, yes. Sporty is also a spice. I think I see where this is going. Autumnal Blake says pepper, sure. Salt, hell no. I'm glad you asked this question, Nico Darunia, because it's one that plays me. Also, we got into the discussion again after watching this week's Tosh.0 of how many holes does a straw have. I'm not discussing that today. I will discuss it when we have more members on the podcast. I love the podcast. It's the best Nintendo podcast I know, and I've tried several. Have a great day. Well, thank you so much, Nico Darunia. That's really cool. Hello, Jumpman. You joined pretty much right when I'm going to end. I'm sorry. Yes, our podcast has been going on for a very long time. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, trust me. I know some people like more serious discussion of the Nintendo news. Now, we have certainly had our serious discussions of Nintendo news over the years. It happens time to time, yes. But we're more, I just like to have fun. I like to have fun with the site. It's video game news, man. Axel, I know you miss Parents Play. It's coming back. I just like to have fun. We're talking about video game stuff. Yes, serious stuff pops up sometimes and is important to address seriously. But yes, it's video games. So I like to have fun here. To tell you the God's honest truth, the podcast, especially in recent years, has been my favorite part of GoNintendo. It's very unfiltered. It's very free-flowing. It's a time to be goofy and silly. It's a time where I really get to interact with you guys. You guys, you're there. I love it. I love it. And I know some of you guys really enjoy it as well, so thank you. But yes, a lot of, and I'm not knocking podcasts that take things very seriously or handle things in a very regimented way. To each their own. That's completely fine. I know this podcast would be considered garbage by plenty of people, and that's fine. I don't expect it to be everybody's cup of tea by any stretch of the imagination. But like there's like we're like the morning news. No, we're like the morning radio show version of a Nintendo podcast. We got the goofy characters and we joke around a lot. We got sound effects and we're silly and we go off topic and all that stuff. Plenty of times to be serious in life. And I'm doing a podcast about Nintendo and video games. Let's just have some fun, man. Right? Like if this was like about like world news and politics and all that. Not that there's not a place for humor in there, but talking about video games. It's all about practice, man. Yes, I wish Malakalo that the soundboard was here. I didn't think it would be right for me to do the soundboard on my own because I would probably spam it because I love it so much. Malakalo said Dark Metamorphosis. We're at 135. I got to get it back. I got to get back to the regular site. I got people calling me and I don't know who they are. Oh my God, so many emails. What the hell's going on, man? It's like an hour. Well, thank you for joining me yes, come on up, dude. Sure, ruin the end of the show. Thank you for watching live. Thank you for listening whenever. And it was a great time. I love solo shows. It's good to get a solo show in there every once and again because I get to talk more with you guys. And here's a little insider tidbit for you. After a solo show, I have a terrible headache because I talk so much and it's like a constant flow and I'm the only one that's keeping it going. And I'm like, oh man, too much talking. My face hurts. Not too much talking as in I'm tired of it. It's just a lot to do. Couldn't imagine. There's some radio shows that go on for like 4 hours. How do you do that? All right. That's it. We're done. It's over. The cat's trying to turn off the podcast as it is. This is no after show, so we are really ending. So don't stick around. Mom Brain's here. Mom Brain.
Yes.
I'm just about to end the podcast. Would you like to come say hello and goodbye?
Oh yes. I'm sorry I called you. I realized.
You called me?
As soon as I dialed.
Oh, you just did now. Yeah. There's another missed call.
Oh.
Hi, Mom Brain. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right. Let's say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.